Good evening, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Sorry about the live stream tonight. Again, the internet is still acting up in my area. So should be up by tomorrow. Hopefully, knock on wood, right? But I figured it's super late, but I figured I'd try to get this video out to you. I got one out to you this morning as well. So let's get into it real quick here. Not a financial advisor, not financial advice. Make sure you guys do your research, okay? Also, you guys, as usual, check out the our sponsor for the channel, L Bank. Links down below. Some of you guys are having trouble signing up or something like that, so I'm going to work on doing a walkthrough for you guys on L Bank. But if you want to pick up your Caspa, your Bitcoin, your Jasmy, your XRP, your Ethereum, your Algorand, your Cardano, whatever it is, check out the link below. Support the channel. That would be awesome. Anyways, guys, let's get into it here. Um, Market's really amazing today. Hey, Bitcoin pumped up over 28,000 at one point. It's up to 27.5 almost right now. XDC's pumped 13% today. Uh, Caspa's up 6.6%. Huge. Gala's up 6%. My portfolio is looking nice today, guys. SEI's up 19%. Just a green day. Jasmy's up 3.3%. My DCAs for today would probably have to be Taraxa, Telos, and Casper. To be honest with you, it's the only things that are down. Um, let's get into it here. So what do we have? We got Bitcoin Magazine, Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seyfarth says Grayscale winning its lawsuit against the SEC definitely increases the odds of approval for a spot Bitcoin ETF. This is what I think, guys. I think that this is another massive loss. Make no mistake about it for Gary and the SEC, right? Massive loss after the Ripple loss, and now they still are going to get their butts whipped by the Coinbase lawsuit too. So I think to try to cover this up, to try to make it, silence it, this story that Gary lost again in a big way. I think he's going to start approving the ETFs to try to, see, I'm doing the good thing. I'm doing, take the bad spin off of this and put a good spin on it. That's what I think he's going to do, right? But it's going to start with BlackRock and Fidelity, for sure. Bloomberg's again. They say Bitcoin ETF conversion of GBTC could draw massive adoption from financial advisors and retail investors. So that's what I keep telling. It's what I've been saying for months, guys. I've been beating on that drum. Like, so much money is going to start pouring into this asset class, and we still have lots of time before the halving, lots of time before the next bull run, right? We got about a year and a half for these stories to continue to unfold, for these massive financial advisors and institutional investors and stuff like that to jump in. This is going to be like nothing else we've ever seen before in this space. 2024, 2025, get ready for it, guys, because you ain't ready. You ain't ready. Trust me. It's going to be huge. Okay, what do we got? The round table. Court rules in favor of Grayscale over SEC, raising hopes for Bitcoin ETF approval. An appeals court sided with Grayscale as it battles with the SEC for approval to offer a spot Bitcoin ETF. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit has sided with Grayscale against the SEC, which denied the company's application to convert. We know that part. The court found that the SEC did not adequately explain its reasoning for rejection, and the regulator will have 45 days to appeal this decision, which you know that they will. Perspective. The ruling was a positive step forward. Approval of a regulated spot Bitcoin ETF in the U.S. As the SEC is reviewing numerous applications, the Bitcoin price surged on the news, raising almost 7% on the day. More details. The ruling was a major blow to the SEC, which has suppressed a spot Bitcoin ETF for years. Bitcoin's first spot ETF could be on the horizon. Aaron Arnold of Altcoin Daily reported in the video above. We're not going to talk about that though. Grayscale was just granted a huge win, and the SEC a huge loss. The Court of Appeals basically said that the SEC's original ruling was arbitrary and capricious regarding the Bitcoin ETF application. Key takeaways: the resulting price rally for BTC indicates that the market sees a forthcoming Bitcoin ETF as a potential windfall for crypto. Through the recent ruling, though the recent ruling does not guarantee any approval from the SEC, momentum towards such a regulated Bitcoin product appears to be growing. I think this is potentially massive for the industry. Austin Arnold said, the significance of a spot Bitcoin ETF. It allows any more traditional investors to just invest in a ticker rather than have to worry about finding out where they buy their Bitcoin, custody the Bitcoin, do all that stuff. They don't have to worry about it. A spot Bitcoin ETF means that the fund actually has to hold every single Bitcoin that they offer, which is huge for the price. Three possible scenarios are going to come from this. I think if the Bitcoin spot ETF gets approved, either Grayscale turns their trust into a spot ETF, or BlackRock is the first company ever to launch a spot Bitcoin ETF. Then Kathy Wood of ARK Invest, I know she says, we got our application in before anybody. It should be us. So there's a race going on for who can launch it first. And I think it will be BlackRock coming up. And to be honest with you, I think when that happens, I think Kathy Wood's going to sue the SEC for that. So yeah, and I think Gary's going to do it to try to spin this story to a positive, because he just lost another massive lawsuit. This is huge, guys. This is huge. It is hilarious that Gary's getting just pawned, just owned by the courts here. Jack the Rippler breaking Ripple sources spot in People magazine, Ripple secures spot in Bitcoin magazine list of 100 companies putting their communities first. Congratulations, Ripple. Eleanor Tourette, spooked by the SEC's action against Impact Theory, some NFT projects are currently in the process of deleting their Discord history, I'm told. Tom Bellew was very conservative in comparison to others. So a lot of these NFT projects are panicking and deleting their Discord histories and stuff like that. Kind of stupid, but whatever. What do we got here? This is from Ripple. How finance leaders believe crypto is reshaping payments. Across the global payments industry, users experience the modern interfaces have been prioritized to meet growing consumer demand for user-friendly digital-first banking services. But the underlying infrastructures that moves money from one account to the other has vast room for improvement, and the potential for blockchain and crypto to modernize the underlying payment rails has captured the attention of financial leaders around the world. Ripple's 2023 New Value Report reveals that 44% of survey respondents expect payments to be the biggest source of crypto adoption, and nearly half believe cross-border payments is a top use case for crypto. Payments, especially cross-border payments, still rely on legacy rails that can take days for transactions to fully settle. In contrast, blockchain and digital asset technologies provide a seamless global infrastructure in the payments, and in which payments can be sent and received anytime, anywhere, instantly, with lower fees and 360 visibility. Digital first finance. Digital banking has witnessed a remarkable surge in recent years, empowering individuals and businesses with convenient access to financial services. In the U.S., states over 65% of the population is expected to use mobile banking by 2025, driven in part by the popularity of open banking platforms and payment apps like Venmo and Cash App throughout Asia, the global leader in digital finance adoption. Online banking is expected to reach nearly 1 billion users by 2024 in China. Over 78% of respondents in the EY study have already used fintech services. The total value of global mobile device payments reached 1.2 trillion in 2022. So it's clear that much of the world engages with money and finance digitally first. While a remarkable shift in its own right, the highly designed user experience that are drawing these customers in are actually masking outdated, fractured infrastructure. Adequate payment rails. Beneath the veneer of modern apps and services, transactions are still completed using traditional payment rails, built decades before the internet and mobile phones. The complexity of legacy systems, coupled with the need for intermediaries to validate the settlement transactions, introduces delays and inefficiencies, meaning money moves as slowly now as it did 50 years ago. Despite the updated packaging that consumer-facing apps provide, many digital platforms have created a really slick user interface that sits on top of a domestic payments rail. That means the actual funds aren't hitting the rails until the consumer is trying to cash out. And that transaction can take days, explains Ripple's head of payments product, Brendan Barry, in an interview with PYMNTS. A lot of what we call innovation in this space actually brings the consumer further away from the underlying payment rails so that they get a fabricated or synthetic sense of improvement without actually fixing the underlying infrastructure limitations themselves. Moving funds internationally is even more obstructed. Patchwork global regulations and compliance requirements, currency exchanges, time zones, and limited hours all add logistical weight to an already slow and expensive process. For example, an international wire payment using traditional payment rails can take up to 4 days to settle. And the average global cost of sending a remittance payment is an astonishing 6%. The world economy may seem like an always online global marketplace, but traditional finance still operates on a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday schedule. Respondents to Ripple's global survey reinforce these frustrations, with the cost of payments and settlements speed being two of the most frequent cited challenges for enterprises making cross-border payments. Crypto-powered payments. Cross-border payments are central to the world's economy, powering international trade, underpinning complex supply chains, enabling corporate treasury flows, and funding the operations of non-governmental organizations. The frictions inherent in these transactions today needlessly inflate the time and the cost of each of these applications. Fortunately, cross-border payments have emerged as one of the more powerful use cases for crypto and blockchain. Thanks to their radical ability to facilitate interoperability between tokens and chains, once two parties agree on the value of a transaction, a crypto-enabled payment moves the corresponding amount of digital assets between the appropriate chains. These assets can be moved in seconds on the blockchain and then liquidated into fiat currencies to pay out via local rails for a faster, more affordable, and transparent payment. The magic of how all this happens is because you're using a digitized or tokenized asset, and the flow allows you the ability to move funds quickly, says Barry. It's achieved without incurring the cost associated with needing to rely on different financial institutions as a middleman in the flow, removing parties from a normal construct of correspondent banking. The value of cross-border payments is expected to reach 250 trillion by 2027, and that advantages of global payments powered by crypto are rapidly apparent. Further, more than half the global payments and treasury professionals point to faster payments and cost savings as the top two reasons to incorporate crypto into the cross-border payments business. Blockchain has all the makings of a transformative answer, says Doug Fritz, CEO of F2 Strategy, a wealth tech consulting firm. It enables payer and payee authentication and translation of value within the same line of code. A seismic shift in finance. This shift is already well underway. More than 80% of global financial leaders expect to begin using crypto in their businesses in the next 3 years. By addressing the limitations in traditional payment systems and combining technology and finance seamlessly, blockchain is actively paving the way for a new era of frictionless global payments. It can enable instant transactions for individuals, businesses, and banks anytime, anywhere. So there you have it. That's straight from Ripple. Very, very bullish. Trillions of dollars, guys. Trillions of dollars is going to be pouring into cross-border payments. And who's at the forefront of all of this? Ripple and the XRPL, right? Very bullish on XRP, guys. Sorry if I'm a little quieter this evening. It's very late, almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So anyways, guys, that is the news. We will be back in the morning for another video. Our internet should be in the area. It's not just my place. It's the whole area I live in. And we definitely will be back for a live stream tomorrow, come hell or high water. So, miss you guys. It's been 2 days. So yes. Anyways, guys, make sure you smash that like, smash that subscribe button. I will see you guys tomorrow for the live stream. And also, like I said, check out the sponsor, LBank, link down below. If you want to get your Caspa, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Jasby, whatever it is, check the link down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.